Well, welcome everyone. We set off on this journey to grow spiritually. One of the biggest components of growing spiritually is gathering with other people and allowing them to help us in our spiritual development. So I want to encourage you, keep coming back, because being in a group is where God uses others. Circles are always better than rows. In this session, we are continuing our study and our unwavering commitment to an integrity as Jesus followers. Why? Because it's so easy to get caught up in the outcomes of our actions and forget that our ultimate allegiance is with Jesus. But when the results of our actions start to matter more than aligning with God's will, we risk veering off the path of integrity. This happens when we prioritize what we want to achieve over what our Heavenly Father asks us to do. We're not genuinely following Jesus, we're using His teachings as tools to attain our own desires. Now, in this past weekend's message, we explored part of the story in Daniel found in Daniel 6, where we find Daniel's unwavering obedience and integrity. In the court of a foreign king, Daniel's integrity shines brightly. Daniel was a guy who followed God with all of his heart. He was honest and he was faithful, and everyone could see it. In fact, the king noticed and he put Daniel in charge of a big responsibility. But there were people who got jealous and wanted to bring him down. They convinced the king to make a law that said no one could pray to anyone except that king. Now here's where the integrity part comes in. Daniel knew this law was against God's command to only worship Him. Even though he knew the consequence would be getting thrown into a den of lions, he didn't let the fear or the desire for a good outcome control him. Instead, he prayed to God just like he always did. Long story short, Daniel got caught praying and he ended up in the den of lions. But guess what? God protected him. The outcome wasn't what those who wanted to bring him down expected. Daniel's integrity, his commitment to following God's ways, no matter what, was honored by God. Daniel's story is a reminder that our path is a path of obedience, not manipulation. We must resist the temptation to prioritize outcomes over God's guidance. We might face challenges and oppositions or even persecution at times for staying true to our faith. But our Heavenly Father promises to be with us through it all. As we navigate the messiness of life, let's remember Daniel's example. Prioritize obedience over the pull of controlling outcomes in our careers, our relationships, or even our personal interest. Let's choose God's will over our own desires. Like Daniel, we might find ourselves in the proverbial lion's den, facing uncertainties and challenges. But just as God closed the lions' mouths for Daniel, He is more than capable of delivering us when we stand firm on our own integrity. As Jesus followers, our ultimate goal isn't just the outcomes, but it's the journey of faithfulness we take. And when we prioritize obedience over outcomes, we surrender control to our Heavenly Father, trusting Him to guide us in every circumstance. Hey, thanks for joining us this week in our group time. I hope you have a great group discussion.